No, I share the screen and start the recording also. So today we study about the class method. There are three main methods: the instance method and class method and the static method. Okay, and here we see we have created one class employee, and in the class attribute I have written here the variable 1.5 and the number of employees 0 in the class property. And if you see, I have defined one init function here, and the cell file name, first name, last name, and the salary. So this I have given here these all properties, and the employee number of employees plus equal to 1. Then I have defined another function that is increase, and self is that default parameter is there. So self dot salary. Okay, so salary is there already. I have. So this self dot salary is equal to, I have taken the integer and the self dot salary into self increment, self dot increment. So increment I have not mentioned here anywhere. I have not mentioned. I have mentioned the increment here in the class. It is class variable now. So what I am doing, I am using one class method, and this class method I am change increment. Okay, and the here the first attributes would be class, and second is the amount. So class dot increment amount. So when I call this John, I am creating the John object and the Bobita object, and print Bobita salary first, before increment, and after increments you see I get the salary two times. I have written here too. So I want to change as per the I don't want this again and again. Okay, if I don't run this, if I comment this, and then I see the Bobita increase. So I will see this 67,500, which is 1.5 of that. I could write here two times. So then you see, you could uh, judge it better. It is 90,000. And if I write here three times and I allow this, so if you have to change uh, independently, individually, one by one, you want to change in this way. So you could create one class method. It will, but before that you have to run this first. The employee dot change increment. It is in that class. Okay, and then you could see the salary here is the three times. So it is now 135. So it is in this way you could use it. One more thing we could do with this class method, that is these are the same up to here, and the class method alternative constructor I am using, and definition from string. So you are writing something like in one string you are writing the name, Des Krishna, Des 70. Generally we have to write in this way, or you ask them to please you write in the one string or in this way. If they are writing in this way, or you want to, it should be separated through this string in this way automatically, and it's stored. And whenever we call, we could get the output. So we are using here is also, I will write the class and the employee string. Okay, employee string I am taking as an attribute parameter, file name, last name, salary. It will convert this employee string dot split from hyphen, whatever you are mentioning here, and the return CLS file name, last name, and salary. Then it will be converted in this way. So these are the developer point of view. It is not a point of view of our uh, data scientist. Okay, so if I run this, you will see I will get the salary of this 75,000. Okay, if I comment this and I run this, so I will get one error. because it is now one string. It is not separated because it has been separated by this class method. So this is about the class method. It works in this way. And next is the static method. The third method, my class method, was marked at the rate static method decorator to flag as a static method. This type of method takes neither a self nor a CLS parameter, but of course it's free to accept the arbitrary number of parameters. Okay, so we see why we work this. You see, I want to make another class, whether I want to know on the particular day my shop is my center is open or not. So I write here definition is underscore open, and it is the static method. So you will say the parameter, there is no CLS, no self. I will write my own day, and if day equal to Sunday, return false, else return true. So if I ask about this, so I will get false. Or if I write here, uh, sorry, uh, Wednesday, I will get true. So this, in this way, static method we could use. Now, one more thing, inheritance. I'm making another class in this class. These are the same thing what I have used. Now another class I am making, the class programmer. These are the employee class. In the employee, there are many categories in the employee. Sales team is there, the BA is there, so many teams are there. Marketing team is there. There is a developer team or the programmer team. So I am making under employee one class for the programmer. We could make the different class for the different person, different profession. So it is the programmer, and I just pass it. I am not writing here now anything, and I pass the John in a programmer class, not in the employee. And I am creating this object in programmer class, and I have passed it, so it will run. It will not give us any error because I have written here pass. So print John dot file name, so it will give me the John. Okay. Now I will tell you more about the inheritance. So what I am doing here in this programmer class, I am taking always what I will take in the it is an inheritance. Employee is the parent of this class. Employee class is the parent of this class. This is the son or daughter of the that employee class. So here you see, if I am writing here, I am here also I am taking the init, self, file name, last name, salary, prog-lang and experience. Here two attributes increases here in the programmer. These are the specific attributes for programmer, that the programming language, which programming language they know, and the experience in that particular programming language. Okay, these are the, so if I could copy this and I could write this there, no problem. But I will do some other thing. I will write the super. I will write the super dot init, and whatever the attribute there, I will just write here. So this will, it will take from the super class. This is the super class. The super class attributes are these. Okay, in this defined init function. So it init function I have taken here, the super init function, the super class init function. I have taken the attributes here. So I will take this all automatically. I don't have to write the self dot this and self dot, but these two, for these two I have to write that self dot program language and the self dot experience. I have to write this two only. And this is the salary. If I want to increase the salary of a person, for the programmer, I want to increase the salary different from other salary is increasing by 1.5% for all the employees. But program, I want something else. So I could also define one more function here. I am taking the integer here. Self salary, self dot salary, it is from the main class, into self dot increment. Self dot increment you will see here. cell dot increment. So we are getting here cell dot increment. Okay, so cell dot increment we are getting increasing too. So cell dot increment plus 0.2% should be more to them. Okay, whatever the increment we are giving. So cell dot increment is that, and the cell dot increment 1.5 plus 0.2, so they will get 1.7%. Programmer. So I just write here the Babita is a programmer. Babita farmer 45,000 hour programming, 4 years experience, and I just run this first. I am also comment this. Oh, sorry, it run now. I just see R programming language. If I ask about the increment, the salary, so I will get the salary which is 45,000, because I have not increased the salary here. I have not used that increment. If I use that increment like here, I have used, you could see here. Where is that? Employee dot change increment. Change underscore increment. I could write here. Dot increase, I could John dot increase if I write. Babita John dot increase, I could write here. So Babita dot increase. I see what also sometimes so it doesn't satisfy. So it is I have to run this Babita dot increase automatically. Then I could print it. I want to show here, so I have to run this, then it will do this thing. And I want something to know about the programmer. So if I write this, I will get the whole thing about. If I write the help programmer, print help programmer, so you will see I will get the help on class program module. It is a main module, and class programmer is module. This is the dender method is this the main dender method, and the programmer file name, first name, last name, salary, prolonged experience. This is the, and the method resolution order programmer, employee, and bulletin. If first it will search in the programmer method resolution order, then it will go to the employee. If you something write in the programmer dot and this type, and then it will see in the built-in object of the Python. Method defined init, self, file name, and this all is given here. And the class method inherited from employee, and the change increment amount from everything is given. Flow of your that work programmer, how it will flow. So the dender method is I explained you this is a dender method, and I little bit explaining about the dender method more. This all is same, but dender method what I am doing, I have to add something. Then I will use suppose I first time show you this one. I run this print 4 plus 6, just only this. You see the result is 10. You know, right? If I run this, this is the strings now. 98 is a string, John is a string. So what will be happen? So it will concatenate 98 John. If I write something like that, print 98, then plus, then 0. So it will also concatenate 980 in this way. So if I use like this, if I comment this and I uncomment this, then you could see what will happen. Dunder add method. Dunder add method is this one. This one dunder add for addition. For multiplication, we have different methods. If you search on the dunder on the net, you would see there the dunder method. So many dunder methods. I am giving the object 6, and what I am doing, a dot add 7. So 6 plus 7 I will get 13. So look at here, I am getting 13. If I want to multiply this, then what is 6 7 is a 42? I will get the 42. Okay. If I write in this John plus Bobita, so it will not like a addition. It is a dunder add. This error before using dunder add. If you write this, you get 10,000. So what you are getting here? John plus Babita I have written, but we are getting 105000. What is the rate? So it is the salary we are adding on, the both salary. Okay, so if we have mentioned the salary 60,000 and the 45,000, it is the 105,000 salary it is giving me. And if I use the, if I don't use this dunder method, suppose if I don't use this dunder method, where is that dunder method? Add. I do it comment, and I also comment this because I will explain it later. Without using this dunder method, if I am written the self salary plus other salary, so other salary is only of with Babita is a John. If someone else is also there, suppose I am writing Nilesh, and it is also employee I am taking. Name is Nilesh, and it is Agarwal, and the salary is 30,000. And if I add on this, so if I'm not running this dender, add dender, and I am using this, I am using, I remove this, I comment this first, and I just comment this also, no problem. This is the same thing, you could use anyone. If I run this now, you will see that I will get the unsupported operand type plus employee and employee. So if I use the dunder method, if I use this dunder method, then what will happen? Now if I run, so I will get 1 lakh 5,000, because why it is not taking an employee? Nilesh, employee Nilesh Agrawal 30,000 other. That's a John plus Babita I have written. John plus Babita. If I written Nilesh also, and then you see 30,000 will add on this. It should add on this or not? Unsupported is plus indeed the employee. In it in the employee. So I have not added 3 now, only 1. Other sample. Okay. This was one type, so plus. For 3 we could not do it. Yeah? I have not mentioned over here. Okay. If I just move this, then I run this, I will get the summation. We will get the 2 summation here only. For more, we have to do some colon type sign, and we have to change the. So this is about this dunder we are using the add, and the multiplication we could also use. This is the same. Here one repar we have one dunder what we use for sometimes, and there is nothing I want. Suppose I am not using this, and I just want to know about. I want to know about the John. John is here, and I run this. So I will get the address only. I just there it is given. Getting this. So I'm getting this address, the path of where our John information is stored. But I want to know the thing about the John, so I could use the REP Ripper dunder. So I'm using the Ripper dunder. Here the self is only I'm taking the default parameter and return the employee curly bracket, curly bracket, curly bracket. Three things are there. John Matthew 60,000. So I will dot format use and the self dot name, file dot name second place, and the self dot salary. Sorry, self dot first name, self dot last name, and the self dot salary would be here in these three brackets. So if I run this now, and I have opened it or not, yeah, opened it, and I run this. So look at this employee. So it is giving the full information of that employee. But I don't want in this way. I want in some other way. So I just comment this, and I want in this way. So I will use the str dunder method. The str dunder method is like that. You will see the str self return the name of the employee is in this way. I want the dot format. I could write the salary of employees this much and that much. You could write that thing. So if I run this and I just run, and you will see the name of employee is John. Does that make sense to you? So this one little bit about I have given is about the OOPS. And OOPS, it's a very big topic, but we have just understand the basic concept of the OOPS. How does it work? Okay, it's not a 1 day or 2 day task. You could cover it. There are so many other things also, but I have just explained you, and now you could learn through the videos and some other uh, literatures you could read. Is there any doubt here in OOPS? Yeah. Hmm. Is there any doubt? Hmm.
No doubts, but just now.
I'm not getting your voice.
If you compare this program, hello,
Antanu, your voice is breaking. It's not properly audible. You write on that chat box. Please, you write on chat box. Uh, so let's we continue our other topic, which is the. I will see what that is. Oops, we have completed. And then the data preparation and something remains here, the factor analysis and PC. So I think today we cover this factor analysis and tomorrow we cover the PCA, and the day after tomorrow we cover that our data preparation and feature engineering. Okay, so it is the Thursday, Friday and Saturday. We'll finish up to Saturday. No, if you are writing just an observation, it seems that in comparison to other programs, the programs of OOPS are quite bigger for a short output. No, it is when we deploy something, when we use the database for taking these objects, we have the thousands of rows, and then we use this for fetching the data from that, and whatever the output you require, you write in this class. Does that make sense to you? It is something related to database. We are fetching some data from the database, and then in what format we want to go enter in our model. Does it go in our predictive modeling and the whatever? It is for that purpose we use the class. And it is not, here we are taking the one object only, one or two objects, like the Babita and that John, and there we have thousands of objects. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then with the volume of data, it looks very small syntax. At this moment, we have a data is one or two data set, object we have only, and syntax are too lengthy, we feel. Okay. So we study about today about factor analysis. We will finish tomorrow PCA, and the day after tomorrow we will finish this. Try to finish that. So PCA, you see the randomized PCA incremental kernel. We see this. I'll show you what is PCA first, and there is my that Jupyter. Okay, I remove these all. I will share with you this today. Oops. Factor analysis. I will today we cover the factor analysis, and important required libraries. First, I tell you, Pandas is for the data manipulation. sklearn is for our loading the data iris dataset. I want to load from the sklearn dataset, and the factor analyzer for the factor analysis, and the matplotlib is for the graphical visualization. So these four library we are using. I run this first, and the loading data. So BFI dataset we are using. I will share with you this dataset also. So let's perform factor analysis on BFI dataset based on personality assessment project, which were collected using a 6-point response scale. Very inaccurate, moderately inaccurate, slightly inaccurate, slightly accurate, moderately accurate, and very accurate. 6-point scale is this. Okay. Factor analysis Python uses factor analyzer package. Factor analysis we are going to do. It is a reduction method, dimension reduction. So what we are going to do, I am using this data set and I just run this. So I run this and I will show you the column of this. If you see the column of, I run again this all. This is now the blank. So I run again, and this is the what? I clear all outs. And, I refresh it. Restart again. And first time running this, it will take the strict sign is there. It will take little time to load the import all the libraries. Now we import the load the data, read the data, and now we read the columns. What are the columns are here? So you see the column names unnamed 0, A1, A2, A3. So we could also see the head of this. So df.head, and the 5 top observation we are getting here. And we look at here, this unnamed 0 is not useful for me. And when we do the factor analysis, we remove some columns which are gender and education and age, this will not include in the factor analysis. Factor analysis we will include this all. These columns we have to use in the size reduction, dimension reduction. So I will remove gender, education, age, and unnamed 0. So I am dropping this gender, unnamed 0, education, and age. X is equal to 1 for column. In place 2, it will be permanently change my DF. And I run this. And again, I would like to show you the I see the NA values are there if something. So I want to drop NA, whatever the value. Now I let you know about the information. So I have now 2,436 entries. Index. These are 64 index. And 02799 other are we have that. And this we have now only the numeric flood 64 we have. And this is the information about the data, and this is the head I am showing you. Okay. Now we perform some adequacy test. Before you perform factor analysis, you need to evaluate the factorability of our data set. Factorability means what? Can we found the factors in the data set? There are two methods to check the factorability or sampling adequacy. Bartlett's test, Kaiser-Meyer-Olkin test, Bartlett's test for of sphericity checks whether or not the observed variables intercorrelate at all using the observed correlation matrix against the identity matrix. If the test found statistically insignificant, you should not employ the factor analysis. Okay, so we see it. I am using the factor analyzer dot factor analyzer import calculate Bartlett sphericity, and what I am chi-square value, p value, and this through this I am applying this, and I print this chi-square value and the p value. So I run this. My p value is 0, near to 0. So in the Bartlett test, the p value is 0. The test is statistically significant, indicating that the observed correlation matrix is not identity matrix. So what I have explained that if the test is statistically insignificant, you should not employ the factors. Now it is significant. It is the less than 0.05. So it is significant. So we could apply the factor analysis here. And there is no identity matrix. Correlation matrix not an identity. It means that. And the Kaiser-Meyer-Olkin KMO test, what we say, so measures the suitability of the data for factor analysis, determine the adequacy for each observed variable, and for the complete model, KMO estimate the proportion of variance among all the observed variables. Lower proportion ID more suitable for factor analysis. KMO values range between 0 to 1. Value of KMO less than 0.06 is considered inadequate. So we are again doing another test for this, and I will show you the KMO. It is a 0.84, so it is good. It is more than 0.6, so it is factorable. Over KMO hour is a 0.84, which is excellent. The value indicate that you can proceed with your planned factor analysis. Now create factor analysis object and perform factor analysis. So FA object name I am giving the factor analyzer, and this function was now not running. This I have commented. So don't uncomment this. It will give you the error. Then fa dot fit data frame 25. I am writing there. The 25 you will see this number of columns, and eigenvalue which should be greater than 1, and the value I am taking. So I will see the eigenvalue only. So eigenvalues are this given to us, the array of this FF8 and these eigenvalues I am getting. So greater than 1, we will get the factors. How many factors are there? So 0, 1, I count from 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 factors. It is value greater than 1. These values are smaller than 1. So this will not be a factor. We have 25 columns. So maximum we could have 25. If we are unable to reduce the dimension, then 25 will remain there. But we could reduce this. So here the eigenvalue is more than 1 will be the number of factors. So there are 6 number of factors we have. Does that make sense to you? Here you can see only the 6 factor eigenvalues are greater than 1. 0.06. No, benchmark is not. Benchmark is 0.06.
It should
Not
be
the
about
0.05.
0.06.
0.06. It is here I have written. Less than 0.06 is considered inadequate.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Sir. Thank you.
So the value which are more than 1 are called the number of factors. So if the 6 factors eigenvalues are greater than 1, that means we need the choose 6 factors on observed variables. So create a script plot using the, now I will also see through, I have got the number of factors, how would be, but I want to also see through the script plot also, how many it should be. Visualization I also want for that. For that I am using one scattergram range 1 dfs.shape 1 plus 1 eigenvalue. And the plot don't go in that deep in the but just see the scree graph. And you see here the 6 that there is a steep, high steep is there, and there is now after 6 there is the steep is decreasing. So we will choose the 6. It's also support that thing. The skip plot method draws a straight line for each factor or an eigenvalues. A number of eigenvalues greater than 1 considered. I explained that. Now create factor analysis is object perform. So I am using the rotation varimax. We have the PCA, different rotations we have. So number of factors I will, the factor analyzer function I will use. The FA I have used earlier also. And the FNA object name I am using here again. The number of factor is 6. The rotation is varimax and I run this. So it has been run. Now I want to fit it. So I will get the fitting. It has been fitted here. And now I will see the attributes of this FA. If I see FA fit, so I will get the loadings, FA dot loadings. And here you write this underscore is very important because the function has been changed. So we are getting some different technique to find it out. So this against the eigenvalues I am showing you. It's not compulsory to show the eigenvalues again. So we could remove this cell. It's not compulsory to write here. I delete this cell. And I will get this data frame as loadings. So this is my factor analysis. How we get the which, there are 6 factors. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 factors. In the, this is the 0 observation. We have, sorry, 0 observation, not we have the 25 columns. So which column we will get in which factor and merge in which factor. So I will explain you here one by one. How does it work and how do it work? This is our first, this is second, this is third factor, this is fourth factor, this is fifth factor, this is sixth factor. Does that make sense to everyone? Now what I do,
Yes, sir.
I just see the maximum number here. What is maximum value? Either it may be negative side maximum or the positive side maximum. Negative side maximum is what? 0.53 is the maximum one. This one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this first column will goes to fourth factor. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Second column we see. This is the first column basically. Then Python starts the indexing from 0. Okay. So the second column, you see the highest value is again here. This one. This also goes to fourth factor. This also. This also. This also. Okay. So this all will go to F4. Okay. Now we see here this, this, this. Okay. So these all three will third. Does that make sense to everyone?
Sir, next one also.
Next one. Yeah. This one is also. This one is also, I think.
Yes, sir. Yes.
This one is also. Up to here. Sorry. Okay. Then you see here we are getting 0.59 here. So this. Okay. In this way, these are on the third. If I change now, then this will be mismatch. So that makes sense to everyone. How does we select the factor here? In which factor? So instead of these questions, instead of these columns, we work on only factors. F1. Now we have the F1, F2, F3, F4, and F5 on it. Where this new data frame we will create, and then we will work on only, sorry, F6 also on this. Okay. Does that make sense to everyone in inferential analysis? It is the dimension reduction. Is there any doubt?
So after assigning F4, F3 after separating, what we have to do?
Then what you do, you add on these are questions, these are items in this F1. You find out the score of this.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
As I have explained one inferential analysis, we have taken N1, L2 last day,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
L3 up to L10. So L1, L3, L4 we have taken in the factor 1.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So in this way, we take the mean score of this and we get one factor here, then second factor. So then we work on this only.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Does that make sense, everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It is in the inferential analysis. Also, sometimes we do in predictive also. If the in predictive we have so many variables, 140, 150, 200 variables. Then we try to see whether we could do the factor analysis or not. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we combine few variables. So it's not a big task. It's a very simple thing. We are not going in the mathematics behind this. And there is a matrix and the eigenvalues and the eigenvector. So many things are there. But we are not going in that part. Nobody will go. Nobody don't go in that part. Okay. Just you should know the utility of the factor analysis and how we get the factors. Okay. So if we see some more things. We have a rotation varimax we are taking. We can take the other rotation also. Then you try this and read these some blocks. So you could get the so many things there. The Promax is there, and so we are taking the Varimax with the orthogonal rotation. It is for the PCA also. Used for the principal component analysis, what we study tomorrow. And the Promox and the Oblimax, the Quarantimine, Quartimine and Quartimax is there, and the Equimax is there, Oblimax is there, Oblimine is there. So you study some blogs and some literature, you could better understanding this. Okay. Method, we have ML principal method and the mine race. So the fitting method to use the item miner, so the maximum likelihood defaults on the mine race. Mine race is minimum residues, mean race. minimum residues method we are using. We could apply the ML also, and we could use the principal also, and we have the different parameter, but you could use later on that. If it is required, then you could go in deep and you could work on it. So there is a study of this. Does it make sense to everyone? How does it work, and
Yes,
how
sir.
we could find out the factor? It's a small thing we use in the PhD analysis. When we get few questions and we have to merge the questions in one, you know, then we use this factor analysis. Okay? It's a very small process. And tomorrow we see the PCA, principal component analysis,
Okay,
and then we start the data preparation. So we could finish. There is a small topics,
okay,
or
sir.
I just share you this all. Today I share this, you know, everything. The last day material or the 2 days material I have to share. Okay. Oops, and this.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So, okay, I think it is sufficient for today. Uh, Suman and Urmi Ghosh and the Prasant Shekhar, Kshitij, Sudipta Datta. Sudipta Datta is here today. Okay, nice. Now the network is working, Sudipta. And Mariam ji, are you getting it properly? The factor analysis.
Sir, why we use the Varimax for factor analysis as well as PCA?
Maximum variance. That is mean by maximum variance. If you read this all in the net online, you will get so many literatures over there in the this the Varimax we use in the factor analysis. Maximum variance. Okay.
Okay, sir.
As per that, it allocate this, make the factors. You know? So that is the thing. The different methods we use for different calculation you could take in this way. Suppose you know the distance formula. We have so many distance formulas. 3 distance formulas we have mainly. You know? One is the Euclidean formula, and one is Minkowski formula, and one is more. I think that I don't know which one is that. So there are 3, 4 distance formulas are there. So similarly, we have various technique. You could find out the factors. So all technique will not give you the same factor. There may be little bit difference, but not the much, a very big difference. It's a small little bit one question maybe here to there that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So, are you starting any new batch, any course next week?
Next week, no, 5 to 7 we are going to start that our foundation, our foundation,
Our foundation. Okay, sir. Okay,
and 7 to 9 we have not decided so far.
sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Sir, do you have any plan of starting SVM related any course?
What?
Support vector machine.
We have covered there in support vector machine.
No, in
Path.
Python. Using
Python.
Python we will plan, but we are getting very few students in the Python. The strength is very low in the Python. So the Python we are going to drop because there are so many courses are running in the Udemy, and the person thinks they are learning from there. They are just learning the codings. They are not getting the concepts about the support vector machine and the mathematics behind that. What is the mathematics behind that? They don't explain, but the people. So we are getting very few people in the Python. So we see when we get some more students, and we try to get the students in the Python. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
The Python generally the young people learns Python mostly. The academicians who are experienced, they learn the R.
Okay, sir.
So
Okay, yes,
there we are getting more participants. Ms. Srinivasan ji came now. Okay. Welcome, sir. We have finished today's session, sir. So anyone has any doubt regarding? No one has any doubt? So tomorrow we start the PCA and then data preparation. We'll finish this by Saturday. Okay. Thanks
Oh,
everyone.
okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ram Prasad ji.